How you going, guys? Borry Berry here. Once again, I've tried to set the mood with the lighting. It's a bit all over the shop. First things first. Thank you for the new subscribers. Really appreciate it. All the comments and stuff. Yeah, you guys have been liking more because I mentioned about liking. Like if you like it or you just support me, you don't have to like the video. You might like me, maybe. It might not be your cup of tea, but you might be like, yeah, I like what he's about, but just not for me. It's okay to support that. So I appreciate the people that are I feel like there's been more effort since I mentioned it with pressing like. And again, I'm not saying I'm good at doing that either. I'm shocker for watching things and not thinking about things like that. So I know what it's like. Sorry, I just burped. I've got my Coca-Cola here. Couple of things I want to show you is just on the stuff topic, like the bushcraft side of things more. I love collecting old school lights, like torches and all that, but more old school. I do like modern stuff, but this one's not working. I need to replace the spring in it. I kind of lost the spring, and then the replacement thing isn't working. But it's an intrinsic safety torch. It's I wish I could show you it on, but it's not that bright because it's old school. Eventually I'll probably find a brighter globe for it. I don't care about the intrinsically safe. Now, if you're wondering what I mean by that, these torches are made so if you got like a room that's got gas in it, this torch doesn't set it off. It doesn't ignite. That's why it's a safety torch. So old school Eveready, I believe. Yep, Eveready. It's just really solid. I love retro. I feel like, well, it is. It's not I feel like, but things like this are just getting older and older and rarer. And I love, not only do I love how old things are made, and they'll never be made that quite like that again in a lot of the cases, but I love people that collect old things and look after them because it's a preserving that happens. I never got to show you because I was using it all the time. This top part's a modern bit for I normally put my camera on, but I've got it on my bed. But I don't know if you can see it, but this is an old school, the brand, there's a brand. Oh, come on, focus. Nope. There's a focus. Brands Hakuba. It's an old school Japanese, so well made tripod. It's just I just appreciate. I got it for a bargain when I was traveling. I love this tripod because I've got a modern attachment and I use it practically, and it's just so well made, and I love Japanese things. So there's that. Just a couple of things I'm showing you if you're wondering what I'm doing. I just got to sneeze. Oh, that was a loud one. My sneeze is always loud. Check out this, man. I love it. Again, old school. Look, so it's got the torch. The torch is not too bad for an old light. And it's got the fluoro light. How cool's that? So that's one I got the other day. And these all I got like a couple bucks. And they got the big batteries, but like it's still something I'd use. Practically. And the fluoro flickers like you like a fluoro to flicker, How retro is that? I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to do the backlighting, but didn't really work. Anyway, I'll leave that on up there. Oh man. Well, the sinuses have gone off. I must have kicked up some dust. What else was I going to show you? I'm just showing you things I might have not shown you. I don't know if I ended up showing you this old school retro jet lighter. It's sick. I just love it. Looks like something from the 80s futuristic movies. I love how this lighter's not trying to be anything. It's just a cool jet lighter, and it flicks open and it's got 3 jets. How sick is that? I just think that's so cool. What else haven't I shown you? I think I might have shown you a lot of this in other videos. That's just a drink bottle I got on my travels. a soft drink bottle. I remember explaining one of my other things I like to collect is drink bottles. Anything practical, well made, or old school I really love, especially when you can use it in a survival situation. I think that's it for that stuff. So there was a couple of things I want to talk to you about. One I was meant to research and I haven't, so I'll leave that one on the back burner for now because I haven't researched it. I do try to do research. I do try to know what I'm talking about, and I'm about to explain why. Well, one of the reasons, at least. So I was chatting to a girl that works in a cafe today, a really good cafe. Every now and then I go to it, and I just got on talking, and so I mentioned how. So in my other videos, I talk about how God's getting rid of, how it's good to be kind, it's good to be humble, it's good to be loving. But Jesus wasn't nice. We were not called to be nice. Nice were pandered to people. And nice is what goes away when we're not around people. I made a quote. I said a quote. I made up a quote. So if I can remember, I put it up on somewhere like TikTok, and the quote went something like this. I completely forgot. It was something like, nice is... you know what? I'm shocked tonight. I should delete this video. I can't remember my own quote. Anyway, forget that. Erase that. What is this guy on about? Okay. So on the topic of how God's getting rid of nice, pandering to people, being intimidated by people, pleasing people, obligation. I've talked in older videos how obligation is the fourth hand of witchcraft. I'm not going to go into all that at the moment. It'll get me off topic. So I'm speaking to this. I just went into this topic. One thing I've noticed is when it comes to conversation and things, often what Holy Spirit's stirring up in me, often I'll just take an opportunity. It's like sometimes you only realize an opportunity is given when you have the boldness to step into it. And it's only in hindsight you go, oh, that was given in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Probably not. Anyway, I'm chatting to this cafe girl, and I just said, you know, I mentioned how I was when I was asking about another cafe girl's name when I was interacting with them the other day. And I said how I'm learning not to be nice. And you could tell she's looking at me, and she's a deep thinker, this girl. And she kind of looked at me, and I said, what I mean by that is how I was the other day when I was asking that girl's name. And I kind of mentioned, and you could tell she was very intrigued by what I was saying. And I said, one of the things I said to her, I said, I can't remember when I've done it. I honestly, when it comes to IQ, I don't think I'll have a very high IQ. Now, I don't care about that because I know socially, I actually score high on social intelligence. I know I'll have high, I don't know, there's so many words for it. You can call it a lot of things, but I've got high creative intelligence. Yeah, so I'm thinking of a million things at once at the moment. At the same time, million things at once at the same time. You've got me in my ADD meltdown. Oh, anyway, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Please bear with me. So, I didn't go into... I wasn't so muddled. I wasn't muddled at all when I was talking to her. So I'm just muddled with you guys on YouTube. So I said to her, I said, you know, often people that... I wish I remembered exactly what I said now. I said often people that are playing nice with people and pandering to niceness are people with low IQ. There's a reason for that. And I know one of the big reasons is, and this is my own observation, I'm not trying to say this is fact, this is just my own studies, observations, my own observations. I wouldn't call them studies, observations. Now, the reason why a lot of low IQ people is, one of the big reasons is when you choose to speak the truth, regardless of how people feel and regardless of how you feel obligated, often the people that aren't playing the nice game, or bullies, or whoever, it's not always bad. It's definitely not always bad. But they'll hold you to it, to what you say. Just like me. Because I have a lot of opinions and I say a lot on YouTube, if I'm not careful, and I am very careful, and I'm very intelligent in certain ways, if some of you haven't picked up, I am. If you don't be careful, there's a lot of attack that comes. And when I say attack, it can be so many things. That attack could just be someone scrutinizing your work. So it's not, I don't mean that's bad, but it's kind of like someone's going to call you bullshit. Are you speaking from your backside? So mind the language, but I'm trying to, well, I'm not being nice about it, eh? I'm just being blunt. So they're going to call you up on if you're a hypocrite, if you're not genuine, and they'll naturally do that. And because there's plenty of people that are not playing nice. They might be kind, they might be loving and all that, but they don't play with nice. And that's why they're not bound by these spiritual forces in some of the ways where people that are low IQ and don't really think outside of the confines that have been set for them. You get what I'm saying? There's so much to this, guys. It is a complex topic. There's a lot of ways I can go at it. So please try to refrain from just on the comments, just trying to add to it. Like someone I know goes, when you talk to them, they'll agree with you. Like they don't seem to disagree with you, but they'll say, no. And then they'll literally say no as you've said something. And then they'll explain something that will add to it. If you're going to add to something, be often there's ways you can communicate. So it is communication, and not shutting someone off, and maybe saying, "My pie add." That's good. My pie add. There's ways to communicate. Ways to have dialogue. Because if you just say to someone, stuff what you said, blah, 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 this. The person's just going to go, well, you're an idiot, and shut you down. They don't want anything to do with you, to be really blunt. Does that make sense, guys? Like, I hope it does. And I do a lot. Thank you for the feedback and stuff. And this is all stuff that's, it feels like it's really old to me, but at the same time, it's really new. It's really new with understanding it. It's really new with confronting it and realizing how much, and this is going to sound kooky, but I'm telling you, it's so true, is how much the spiritual forces around me have used obligation, used, niceness as a cudgel, I'm going to burp again. Oh, sorry, excuse me. As a cudgel to beat me down, to beat so many people down. It's not just me, but I'm talking about my own perspective. To beat me down. Don't you say anything. You have no opinion. Stay in your lane. When I say stay in your lane, usually what I mean by that is stay with your calling, stay with your capacity. And this is where capacity comes back in. So it's not as simple as what I'm saying. There's other dynamics that play into stuff. So it's wisdom, it's learning, and it's trial and error, and the brittle mind of religiosity has no room for error, has no room for testing, no room for lab works, no room for invention. This is how it is. This is the way it's always been. Stay here. Do this. And the hypocritical side of religiosity and law, and it's always been the age old, you know, you will get that voice, you'll get that figure pointing this law at you, telling you to stay in line. But then you look and it's the very thing when it suits that figure, when it suits that figure to not stay in line, it'll manipulate things and use it for its own gain, selfish gain. Not always the case. Not always the case. So I'm not trying to say that's always the case. There's also the law figure, which does, well, there is I haven't always, I'm getting really weird, but please, some of you will stick with me. But there'll also be that figure that actually does deviate. I didn't think it did, but it deviates from religion. The religion and law do deviate. And then you've got the figure of law, the law abider. It's that, I have spoken on this in other videos, so I'm going on about things, but hear me out, it ties in. And that figure of law, which is the cop of Les Mis. I'm trying to sound French. But in Les Mis, you got the law, when he's like, prisoner 35451, you've broken my thumb, now your life is done. And he didn't really say that, but the one that Russell Crowe played in the Hollywood movie of it, when he was confronted, when the man of law was confronted by a law he lived by, there's no mercy, no deviation, there's just strength. It's rigid. And you know what shattered it? You know what shattered him, guys? It was the confrontation to mercy when it was shown to him. Because he gave no mercy. He didn't expect mercy. When mercy came to him, when he was spared, it didn't make sense to him. It messed him up. It broke him. What did he do? He plunged into the river or off the bridge or whatever. You know, so there's that deviation where I find perhaps the deviation I'm talking about from the religious archetype or character. And I'm talking about a personality to describe so many things, whether it be spirits. Anyway, the religious character is, I found, will use religion as it's often hypocritical, where it's hypocritical in the sense it will point the finger, it will judge, and it will go, this is what you need to do, and stay in line. And if there's no mercy, there's no grace for you if you step out, and the law will come upon you. But there's always, the reality is, okay, here we go. The reality is, the reason it's always hypocritical is that makes no sense, because technically, guys, everyone has broken the law. You bring up the 10 Commandments. Have you envied? Have you lied? Have you hated? You've already broken the law. So it's always hypocritical in nature. the thing about the law, and I'm specifically talking about the Bible, I'm talking about how spiritual you be, religious spirits. I'm talking about religious people and spirits and being religious. I'm not talking about pure religion. I'm not talking about what it really means. I'm not talking about what a lot of people think it means. I'm talking about religious and pious, law abiding. Thou shall not. Um, so that's what I'm talking about. It's hypocritical. It's hypocritical because you've already broken it, and if you break one law, you break them all. You might be like, that makes no sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to pretend. But most people that think law's going to save anyone and use law as a cudgel because they're hypocrites and they're out for their own game and power. And they don't even realize it. It talks in the Bible, those dogs, those religious dogs. And they're dogs because they're unclean. They think they're clean. The religious spirit, I'm going to say something. This is coming back to more my gifting and things I see and more my expertise. The religious spirit, people that are operating in a religious spirit. So if you imagine there's a spirit, it's their Lord. It's the one they're operating from, the one they align to, the one they pay homage to. They're some of the most neat freaks. They're all about control. There's things that I know the religious spirit hates. A religious spirit hates long hair on guys. It hates long hair. It hates creative things that anything that's a lot of things that are new. How do I explain it? With dress, it wants uniform. So there's a lot of things. It's not why I wear it, but it's a benefit of wearing it. So there's a benefit. I don't have long hair to antagonize religious spirits, but I love that automatically does that because I want to smash them in the face with who I am. I don't mean physically, guys. I'm not talking about people. I just mean the spirit. I want to look it in the eyes and go, stop posing as God. You are not God. Yeah, but there's things that I'm about that a religious spirit hates. I totally went off topic. This whole video is just off topic, mate. I don't even know what to call it. I wasn't planning on going there. Sorry, my nose is all messed up now. I'm wondering where I should take this video. So there's something I've noticed. I've noticed some of my videos that I thought were the worst end up being the most popular. So I'm deliberately playing. Sorry, I got a burp again. Sorry, Coca-Cola. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm deliberately playing on the whole raw thing. And it's really probably maybe one of the biggest parts that a religious spirit hates about me. I'm unbridled. I'm untamed. These pre-packaged things won't work against this. You know? Where's he coming from? He's unpredictable. You know, so another thing that, I mean, it all relates. It's all holistic to what I'm talking about. But another big thing with all this is it's the accusation that a religious spirit has tried to have on me. And I'm not trying to say that's the only attacks I've had, or the only spirits that have spoken out. The attack is you are uncovered. You have no covering. You have no master. And it does this because it knows I do. And it knows it can't touch me. It does this because it wants me to start to think, maybe. It wants me to waver. It wants me to doubt. I have a covering. I have a church, that's my covering. I have a pastor that I submit to. I have a God that I submit to. And guys, be careful if you're that person that thinks you only submit to God. Because God has his structures and God is using people. Anyone that tells me God is my master and, you know, people can all get stuff, that person's wrong. Because God's using people. God's established his authority and put people and things in place and power. I've said it in other videos. This is just an example. I'm not trying to say it's the whole picture. The fivefold: pastors, evangelists, teachers, prophets, apostles. I know some people think it's just the threefold, conveniently. I'm just going to say it, it's not. Now you might be like, what are you talking about? So I'm specifically talking about the church. These are the church. These are officers of the church, the overseeing of the church. I'm not going to go into that just now. I have in other videos, so yeah. I'm not going to go off into that topic. But I just want to say, for example, I'm going to say something. This isn't the only example. This isn't the only example that I've had of this. So please don't think I've one story's happened, one coincidence has happened, and I've gone off the rails and look. No. So I'm going to share you a story. I'm not going to mention names. But I'm going to tell you a story. This is serious. I hope this story puts a fear of God in you. So, someone I know, God gave them somewhere to live. And as I'm helping the person with the place where they live, I straight away pick up the whole area. I mean, this is normal. It really is. When I say normal, it's everywhere. It's nearly everywhere. And it's a block of, let's say, units. Okay. Now, I went to this person straight up because I could, I could feel the eyes, and I knew what was around. So I said to the person, just watch out. There's a lot of nasty spirits around, and God's given you this place. So expect backlash, expect some stuff. Pray for the person's house. Pray for protection. It was very specific. Very specific with certain bunch of spirits with a certain person. Haven't met that person yet, so please don't think I've met someone and I'm making all these assumptions. No. I don't play around with that rubbish. So I mentioned this, and then this person, like, shocked, goes, oh, I ran into this person. This person said this, this, and that. And it made no sense, but it made sense if you get the drift, because it was spirits talking. And so I said to this person, I said, their time is up. God's given you this place. They no longer... There's a type of rest the demonic has. It's not the rest and peace that God gives us. It's just a type of rest. And now, I knew that rest is now disturbed. They have to go. It's their eviction notice. They've been evicted. And now they're like, ah! So I mentioned this to the person, and they're like, oh. And then I saw the person with these spirits, and it could hardly talk to me. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, just real, oh yeah, don't try anything. And anyway, when I was praying originally over the house, and please keep in mind, I was not praying against anyone. Don't you dare think that. I do not go down that road. Pray for protection. I pray for angels to whoop the butts of any of the spirits that try to mess with me or certain people. But I never pray against people. So keep that in mind, guys. This is not for ignorant people. What I'm talking about is not for ignorant people. There's a level of maturity that this stuff entails. There's a reason why I'm telling you the story. So I said to the person, I said to the person that got moved into the unit, I said, don't be surprised. This is serious. I said, don't be surprised if you even see an ambulance. That is serious. Because something needed to break. They couldn't stay. And usually when their time's up, there can be a real mess that happens. That's all I'm going to say. Now, that was done. And the person was very like, yeah, this thing's very much at bay. And I said, yeah, it better be. Yeah, it better be. Major whoop ass will come if it even tries anything. Anyway, there's some cool stories in between that. I'm not going to go into that. So then this person from their church had the pastor and the pastor's wife. Now, I don't know if you've heard it in some of my old videos, but oh boy, all pastors, church leaders carry some big sticks. Mate, oh, I can tell you so many stories. Regardless of what I see and know, because I could see the big guns without having to see them shoot, if you get what I mean. Now, oh yeah, they carry some firepower. Especially pastors. Particularly pastors. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent. So I'm like, that's cool. Awesome. I was very interested. Yeah, that'll be cool. Anyway, they came around. He did a really thorough prayer. Much more thorough than I did. That afternoon, that house, an ambulance was there. It's been silent after that. Person's gone. Who knows? I said, we have to be careful here now. Let's not try to speculate and stuff. God looks after us. He cares for us. There's some nasty spirits going on. And they're not causing trouble anymore. But I wanted to mention that story, and I had to be vague. I know a lot of people can twist that. I understand that, but I wanted to share that story, make you guys realize God is in control, and He's the army of light. Mate, I could tell you so many stories of demons being crushed. They're not a big deal to me. Mate, once you start talking about God and His angels, far out. Ooh, bone rattling stories, mate. Like that one. Like, yeah. I'm not excited about that story. That story makes me feel very solemn. It makes me feel very makes the respect and fear for God I have serious, and how what that means to me. How I don't want to get on the wrong side of an angel. I really don't. So I hope you like that story, guys. Mate, I don't even know what I'm gonna call this video. Far out. Oh, it's my birthday tomorrow. I had to drop that, didn't I? So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm gonna try to have early night because I'm gonna wake up early, and it's gonna be a big day. I already got some things planned. Yeah. Please subscribe, guys, if you haven't. Please support me. I hope my videos are encouraging you guys, are building up. I hope my videos stir you to I hope my videos stir you to follow Jesus. Actually, you know what? I could say it better than that. I hope my videos stir you something in your heart to for you guys to seek Jesus, to know Him as God, like I do, and grow in a relationship, and prosper in God. Really mean that. I don't want to be, especially after what I just told you, I don't want to be generalizing this stuff, because there's nothing general about it. But yeah, far out. A lot of full on stuff I've seen like that lately. There's a lot of things I haven't really, I've maybe alluded on with some of you guys. Some of you guys I know in private that I'll plainly talk to, but stuff that I'll never mention on here, or if I do, I'll wait till it fully unravels. And I do try to hold back with what I understand, with only sharing what I have some understanding with. I do try to be very careful about that, because again, it comes back to that thing. There's certain people, they'll pull you up on it. They'll pull you up. So, love you guys. Stay blessed.